Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel. This is John from Cloud Tech Insights. In today's Amazon Bedrock versus Amazon Sagemaker series, we're going to talk about the model evaluation. How does model evaluation work in Sagemaker versus Bedrock? What are the features available in Sagemaker and Bedrock? Again, this series is not to say one is better than the other, one approach is better than the other. Again, both are good approaches based on your team's maturity, where you are, and it depends upon your use case and the usage. Like I talked before, that's how you choose the right product for your Gen AI needs. So here in this section, we'll be talking about what are the model evaluation options in Bedrock, which is more hands-off. You don't have to worry about the instance, etc. Versus SageMaker, you get to choose the different components within evaluation and more options around evaluation metrics and also tight integration into the MLOps lifecycle series. So before we move on to the section, I want to say, why do we need model evaluation? Why do a proprietary model need model evaluation versus an open source model? So proprietary models are always evaluated before they're deployed by the corresponding vendors. Even though they're tested, you can run an additional round of testing to ensure there is no toxic language or ensure that certain guardrails are present to make your application safe to your end users. But again, I would say there's other part to it where you want to test your or evaluate your model against this very specific use case that you're using at your company or organization, which means the proprietary models, they have tested it for a general use case. But if you are using the model for, let's say, summarizing certain documents or responding to your customers, they are like your customers, very specific customer. So you want to make sure those model evaluation use cases are taken care or also part of the model. Before, there are plenty of model evaluation data sets, open source for toxicity check, accuracy check, summarization, etc. You can go online, GitHub, you'll find all these data sets. Unless these data sets are very specific to your use case, then you should have your own data set. It's very important thing to have your own evaluation data set to make sure that you test the model or evaluate the model to a very specific use case that you have. Which means, let's say if you are responding to your customers using a LLM model, you want to make sure that you evaluate based on the historical data, the 5-star ratings conversation that your human representatives have had. You want to make sure you use that data set to evaluate and see whether it's matching the response that you're getting. And there are various techniques to do that. You can just use the evaluation feature within Bedrock and SageMaker, or you can also use another model to evaluate, which I will talk later. But these are the things that we need to keep in mind. Again, model evaluation data set does not come immediately. It comes with time, or you have to explore and wrangle with your data from your historical interaction with your users so that you're catering the model to respond just like how you responded in the past couple of years or months based on your organization's history. It's accurate or aligned to your core business value. The core business value is important. If your company is relaxed on certain policies like refund, I still remember the customer service where they are very good at refunds, returns, and then immediately respond if there's an issue. So you want to make sure the model also responds, or else you won't get the same customer interaction and you might lose those customers. So that's where the model evaluation data set comes into picture. The last piece is the model monitoring. This is very important to monitor your model for performance over a period of time, because you might be getting new information, new inputs to your LLM model, and you want to make sure the model is responding. If it's not responding to the way you want to make sure that it is fine-tuned accordingly with the latest information or evaluated by another model. And this is the piece where you have a continuous evaluation, and it's not like a one-time thing. It's a continuous evaluation, like a weekly, a monthly check to make sure that it's responding the way you want it. And we will cover some of these features in Sagemaker. And I haven't seen that feature and Bedrock so far, but they both have model evaluation feature as of now. In today's demo, we'll be going through the Bedrock model evaluation feature, and we'll be trying out some of the data sets. Like I said, it's expensive to host these models and run some evaluation. I'll just kickstart the process and show you how it is done in Bedrock. Make sure that you turn off these models once the evaluation is complete, or you'll be charged for some of those on-demand usage on Bedrock. Whereas on Sagemaker, if you kickstart the model evaluation, it continues and you're paying for the instance. Make sure that some of those instances are turned off. Without much talking, let's get into the demo. I want to say that I have released a course on Amazon Bedrock Learning Series on udemy.com. I will leave the description and link for the course below. I will also leave a coupon code that can give you a discounted rate on the course. And this course is good for people who are aspiring to be AI developers and also develop Gen AI applications on AWS. With that said, let's get to the
Amazon Bedrock console. And under the console, please ensure that you have the access to the model. Then go here and enable those access to model. So in this session, I granted access to like Haiku, Claude, and Claude Instant, but it's up to you to choose the right model, and it'll show up on your evaluation page. And then move to the evaluation UI, which is right under assessment and deployment. And we have two options. One option is to automatically evaluate your model based on pre-built data sets or your custom data sets. And this is where you can go with your custom data set and see if it's aligning to your core business values. But if you think that you still need an extra evaluation, you can opt the human-based evaluation. So these are like two options. So in this example, we are going with the automatic evaluation. Human evaluation involves hiring a team and labelers to ensure the response is correct, which in some of the instance becomes your, let's say if it's a call center use case, it becomes your call center agent who are evaluating the model's response and then filtering it and providing it to your customers. So let's say a test evaluation, give the name here, and then the model provider. And one thing I want to highlight is that I have access to Haiku and other Claude models, but when it comes to Bedrock, there are some models supported, some models are not supported for model evaluation. So when you pick and choose your tool for your Gen AI application, I would say ensure that it's supported by the model evaluation within Bedrock. So in here, I have access to the model Haiku, but it's not open for model evaluation. So 1.2, Claude 2.1, Claude 2, version 2 is available for model evaluation. Again, I would say keep watching. Amazon Bedrock is evolving much faster and things will change in the next few months. But right now, understand that not all models are supported, part of the model evaluation framework. So you have to pick a task type, which is a text generation versus text summarization. Based on the use case, you can pick the corresponding task. And then there are like pre-built data sets for accuracy, toxicity, robustness. You can pick some of these data sets and it automatically picks the built-in or the pre-built data sets behind the scene. And you can check for like robustness, etc. And some of the data sets available are like gigaword, and there are some more based on your use case. Like you have bull Q, natural questions, trivia QA. As you change the task type, you can see some of those inbuilt data sets, or there are like plenty available on Hugging Face and GitHub that you can use for testing general or use case. And if you find something very specific to your use case, you can pick and use that. And if you want to use a custom data set, all you have to do is switch your own prompt data set here, and you can use the S3 location and select those data set, and it'll run the evaluation against the model. So once this is done, you have to provide an evaluation data set. So just gonna get the folder. We chose the evaluation folder where you wanted to store your evaluation results. And once it is done, you can just say, so now the job is running, and once it's done, it's going to produce the evaluation results and show you the accuracy of the response in different matrices. So go to the Sagemaker interface now, and you have seen the limitations around what models you can evaluate in Bedrock. And when it comes to SageMaker, you see less of those limitations, and you can start evaluating some of those open source models and some of those proprietary models. And for this, we have to have access to the SageMaker Studio. I'm going to open the studio here. I already have the domain created. I'm just going to create, open the domain that's already created. And I'm going to go to Jumpstart and then Hugging Face, just because I want a certain model. So I look for GPT-J. It's one of the smallest models, so I prefer that over something big. Once you're on the model page, you can look at the model performance. The model card gives you all the information about the model. And then there are like 3 options on the top. So if you look at the third option, which is evaluate, and just like the Amazon Bedrock, it also has a wizard-based evaluation option. You can always evaluate through code, but here we are comparing these 2 tools and want to have compare apples to apples. So I'm going to click on the evaluation, creates a evaluation method. I'm just going to provide a name, and you can provide a description based on your use case, and then move on. Similar to Bedrock, it also provides automatic and human option. And like I said, human is you have to hire a team, internal team, and then, or you can have your own team or somebody from AWS to label your data set or tag your data set, see if it's responding the way you are looking for. And once the automatic is checked, select the type of evaluation for the LLM model. So if you want to test text summarization, they have the text summarization option. And you have, if you look at this, you have options to do the accuracy, toxicity, semantic robustness, and similar to what Bedrock has. And at the same time, you also seeing some additional data set that Bedrock does not have, which is the built-in data sets like government report, and based on the toxicity, you can see some additional data sets that you have. So you can either go with the existing metrics, or you can use your own data set. You can pick and choose a location where your data set is, and then you can build you can use your own evaluation data sets to evaluate your LLM model. And you can add multiple dimensions, and you can name it. You have options to put in the description here, and then once you put the name here, you can choose what you are trying to evaluate the model against. And when you put the evaluation data set, make sure that it's on .jsonl format. It's like a new line JSON files, and then you can run it against your data set and see how it performs. So for now, I'm just going to remove this dimension, built-in data set. This is good. And I'm just going to, once I'm done, I have to pick the instance type. So this is where I'm going to say huge difference between Bedrock and SageMaker is that you have to pick and choose the instance, and you have to come up with the instance count, whereas Bedrock does everything behind the scene, but it comes with a premium. So I understand the difference, and once it is done, you can click next. Dismiss view checkboxes. Oh, my bad, I missed the evaluation data set. Find the bucket. So we have to provide a bucket name for the evaluation results, just like how we did for Bedrock. A very similar approach, just making sure the right bucket names are provided, giving the same bucket as the SageMaker. And once that is done, I'm going to hit create, review, and submit the evaluation job. So now the job got kick-started. I'm going to kill the job just to avoid excessive cost. Otherwise, this is how you evaluate job on SageMaker. So one thing to keep in mind is there are some limitations within Bedrock where you may not be able to assess or evaluate all the models, and it will improve over a period of time. And then on SageMaker, on the flip side, on SageMaker, they have all the open source model and some of the proprietary models. I haven't personally seen Claude available, but have majority of the models, open source models and proprietary models to evaluate, and you can build some of these evaluation pipelines in MLOps. So there are like a lot of options where you can build those SageMaker pipelines to run the evaluation. Some of these features are within SageMaker. You can code some of these pipelines. Let's say evaluation results are not accurate or one that you're looking for, then you can retrain the model, fine tune the model again, and run the evaluation a bunch of times. So some of these ML ops can be automated, and it's you can continuously monitor the performance of the models too. So you can like have a weekly evaluation to make sure the model is performing, and whenever there is an outlier or like some accuracy issues, you can always notify development team or kickstart a fine-tuning job on its own. So it is tightly integrated with the MLOps process. So something to keep in mind when you are picking a use case, and the scope of your use case, and what elements you want to bring to your use case.
Call it a wrap, and hope you've enjoyed today's session. Like I said in the beginning, this is not a session to say one is better than the other or Bedrock is better than SageMaker. This is just to inform you how to best choose your tool in Amazon Web Services. If you like the video, hit the like button, and if you want the latest information, please subscribe to my channel. Signing off, John.